next conversation aligns perfectly with Financial Literacy Month. Joining us in studio is Shelly-Ann Aqui Solomon, business and entrepreneurship coach, speaking this morning about stress-free financial success for women entrepreneurs. Good morning, Shelly-Ann.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And we're happy to have you here, especially with such an important conversation. We're talking about financial literacy and women, two things that we've seen, honestly, a little bit disconnected sometimes over the years. So we need to talk a little bit about it. But before we get to that, let's talk about you. Give us a little bit of your history, your background, and how you're here today.
Well, I'm a mom, a wife, a firstborn. That's important because that shapes how we see and adjust to the world.
Yeah.
But I'm also a businesswoman. I've been doing that for 25 years. The main reason I started doing business was simply to stay home with my daughter. So it's nothing big and grand, but I really felt like I was visiting her life instead of raising her, because I was gone to work all the time.
Yeah.
And then on the weekend, of course, we have responsibilities. And then I would do her homework, bed, and then back to school. So it started to bother me. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to stay home. But I also was so accustomed earning, because I started working at age 12. Yeah, so very young.
12.
Yes.
An entrepreneur from young.
I was involved in family business.
Okay.
Relatives, really. And so I always was in that vein of doing something. So while staying home was attractive and being with my daughter was attractive, because that's what I had from my mom, and I appreciate the values that and the benefits of having a stay-at-home mom, I also wanted to be financially independent.
Of course.
So that's how everything just pretty much started.
And it's incredible to think, because you described something so aptly there. I think it's the first time I've heard it described as being a visitor in your own child's life, because we spend more time outside in the workplace, many of us, than we do at home. But specifically with Caribbean women, because we know statistically it's been shown Caribbean women, we are the breadwinners, we're out there, we're working. So what made you decide that you wanted to work specifically with Caribbean women?
Because I'm Caribbean. So I am her.
Yeah.
All right. So I know the struggles, I know the history, I know the culture, I know some of the belief barriers that we have to break, the confidence issues. I also know some of the gender issues that we face as well. And having overcome those things, I felt like if I could pass those lessons and the solutions that I came up with along my journey to other women, then that's going to help more people accomplish some of the things that I was able to accomplish. Because I was able to stay home. I was also I'm still able to travel with my husband all over the world with him, and that is really time and location freedom that I had to create. And I think a lot of women desire that.
Oh, yeah.
But because it's so difficult now to live on a one-income home, that we have to go out and work. We have to find something, even if it's a side hustle. But it really was important for me to create an environment where I can help other women see the possibility. Because one of the things I always would hear is like, well, maybe if we were in the US or maybe if we were in Canada.
Yeah.
But when I show up living on the island, a lot of people don't think I live on the island, but I do live on the island. And they see that it's happening with someone from right here. And then I put them into a community where they interact with women from across the US, Canada, Africa. They see, oh, we can actually break through the location barriers, and we can actually have success from the island. So that was a big passion for me, showing them possibility.
And it is really that's such an important thing you mentioned there, specifically knowing that you don't necessarily have to go outside in order to be able to attain this. We see on an international scale, and here in Trinidad and Tobago, women are now leading corporate entities. We are CEOs, we are ministers, and so much more. For you, why would you say it's important for women, especially, well, let's say CEOs and business women, to achieve that financial freedom?
I think it goes beyond financial freedom for women. I think the finances is just a tool for us. What we really want is to share our voices, our stories, to empower others. We are intelligent, we are creative, we are innovative. We have a lot to bring to this earth. And I think it's very important for us to create a space that we can safely do that. And the base of that is finances. Financial freedom gives us the freedom to do everything else we want to do.
Yeah.
So if we don't have to worry about basic bills, then we are now free to explore other things. So I just think that we have so much in us that it's a sad situation if we just keep it hidden or we are restricted. So the more way and opportunity that we can create for women to show that to the world, I think that that's very empowering.
You know, you said something there about so much, specifically that term, and the fact that we're now talking about women creating on top of everything else. In your experience, you're a mother, you're a businesswoman, you're a wife, you're a daughter, you're a mentor, and so much more. How do you find that time to balance everything but still optimally achieve in each area?
The word balance doesn't resonate with me. I like to say we create harmony.
Okay.
So I sat down, and this was intentional for me. How much time does my children need for it to be healthy? How much time does my husband need? My husband is not a needy man, right? But you still have to nurture your marriage. I've been married for 34 years, and I have adult children. So I also have a business that's very demanding because it's hundreds of clients. If I go back, it's thousands of people that I've coached over time. So what you do is you look at what areas need what amount of time and energy from you, and then you create that your own kind of routine around that and making sure that you fill the buckets. But everybody and every role that you play doesn't get the same amount of time and energy and effort all the time.
That's transformational, going from saying, all right, well, we have balance to harmony, because it definitely puts a positive spin on what can honestly be quite stressful on a daily basis, especially for women. Let's talk about not just that harmony, but also being able to lead successful, but marrying purpose into it. How do you work with your team, women, to ensure that, or at least maybe provide a framework? I teach women to identify what is their desired life design. It all starts there for me. And once we can identify what does your life look like, what would be your perfect life? What would be the life that you will wake up every morning and say, yes, this is my life? Then we start to map the business and everything that we do in business and career around that. So the business funds the lifestyle, but first we have to know what is the lifestyle. And then we will decide how much time and energy are we going to, say, work ethics, how much of that are we going to pour into the business without sacrificing self. That particularly sacrificing self, because we've seen this trend culturally over the years, and there's so many other facets where we see women specifically doing that in order to maintain balance, which we now know is harmony.
Yes.
Shelly-Ann, if you could give a little bit of advice to women who are trying to find that harmony, they want to be more financially stable as well, what would you say?
Well, there's a lot I could say. But let's just start with, again, putting yourself first. Right. Your well-being is first priority. So once we have that on the priority list, then we go down to, all right, what can we do in our business that is going to give us the freedom and give us the time to do the things that we want to do or we need to do in the other areas of our lives. So I will tell people, find an offer that resonates with you, you're good at it, make sure your skill level is on par. You're not going to be giving out substandard stuff out there. Speak to one person, one audience, and have a clear message. Once you do that, then confidently price. A lot of people don't price well, right? You need to price for profit, but people price based on what they think other people can't pay or could pay. And I always tell my clients, everybody isn't poor, you know? So price based on what you deserve, based on what you deliver. All right? And remember that you have to do this consistently. A lot of female entrepreneurs are not making the amount of money that they could make, not because they are bad businesswomen, but because they are afraid to show up. So your confidence to show up and sell. If you don't believe in what you are selling, then nobody else will. So you show up, take care of yourself, make sure that you have good business acumen, good work ethic, and just show up consistently. Show up consistently and know your worth. That's one of the themes we're getting from this morning. Shelly-Ann, before we close our conversation, how can we connect with you? Oh, I'm everywhere. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Just search my name, Shelly-Ann Aqui, or my tag is @SimplyShellyTNT. All right, and you will find me there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's
You're
been a pleasure.
welcome.
Looking forward to seeing you continue to contribute to women's lives, not just here, but throughout the world.
Yes, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Have a great day. Stress-free financial success for women entrepreneurs. Shelly-Ann Aqui Solomon with us this morning. Stay